Let's drop some facts, shall we? The Colorado shooter was Muslim, he hated Trump, and he only shot white people. That's a hate crime. Now media, run tell that.
Putting fuel in the excavator this morning. I'm gonna put fuel in her. I got a, excuse me. I got this field. There's a little patch over there I gotta do. But everything else got done pretty much on this farm. All back behind there. All the way around. Left a little bit along the ditches so you can get through there with the excavator. It's cloudy. We're supposed to get a half-inch of rain, so I'm gonna try to get that little wet spot down there broke up so some water can drain. And it's supposed to start raining this afternoon. It'd be nice if we didn't get the rain, but I guess anytime we get it, we can get it. Come corn, July, August, we won't get a damn thing when we need it. So I'll get them fueled up, and then I'll go finish that, and then probably be done for today. I need to go work on the planter because man, if April ain't getting here quick, and we ain't gonna have it hooked up because we still got a lot of manure to spread. I need one more tractor, but it is what it is. I'll get back with you when I'm chisel plowing more. All right, well, I'm gonna start working on the planter. Still got some manure to spread, so I'm not able to hook it up and get it out, so I'm gonna start doing some work. But I want to show you all on doityourself.com, I ordered some B&R Farm stickers, John Deere green with the yellow trim. Pretty simple, easy to figure out, put on. I wanted to put it at the top of the window, but as you can see, they got the John Deere one up there, so I put it down there. But I think they look pretty slick. Got 4 of them just to try them. Put one on the back of the combine, one on the 92, and then my brother might want one on the back of his tractor. But I gotta pull all the bean disc out of her, put the corn disc in her, check the bearings. Just do a little bit while she's in here. I'm gonna do the rest of it over at the other shop, but while she's in here, I'm gonna get a little bit of stuff done. After I hook her up and get her folded down, I gotta put the blockers in all the bean hoses. So I tried some of these yetters. I got a couple to try instead of a real big heavy cast iron. I'm gonna try a couple of them. I'm gonna put one on the inside of that one on the outside, and then put another one that has 2. They said try them either way, see what you think. But a lot of people have had a lot of, you know, good things to say about them. So figure I'd give it a try, see what they do. If anybody knows if these right here work better than a cast iron, then let me know what you think they work better as. They talk about a big yield increase with these because the crop comes up a little bit better, but you know, like I say, I don't know that, but we'll try it. All right. All right, so I got them on. I'm gonna do on this side, and then over there, and then 2 on each corners of the planter. And then probably here I'm gonna do just one on one side, and then on the other side do it on the opposite side, just see what works better, is what Jamie from John Deere said. Right now I'm going to blow all these boxes out. Took all the disc out of them, bean disc. I got to blow all this out, blow each one of these out, change this little thing right here. This is the bean one. I got to put the little clicker on there for the corn. Check all the brushes. Of course, I replaced them not that long ago, so they all look pretty good. So they'll go another year or 2. get all that done. These cast wheels are freaking, I mean, you wouldn't believe how heavy they are. You really don't even have to run any spring pressure with them, they're so heavy, but I gave her an extra little bit more spring pressure on these where they're not heavy. But we'll see what she does anyway. So I'm getting ready to blow her out and put the corn disc in her. The only thing I wish this planter had was a tank. I really want to get a tank on it, like a 400-gallon fertilizer tank. She's already got the red ball system on her. The guy had it, well, that had it before us had a tank on the tractor, but I don't want a tank on the tractor. I want one on the planter. And I don't know if I want to run the furrow stuff, because they say that really doesn't help much. People that's tried it. I would like to run some double system on here. Comes off like a 2x2, what I like to run. I think it'd work a lot better, but who knows, we'll see. All right, so you take these out. This is for your beans, and they're solid because you got, with your corn plates, you only got enough one ring, but with your bean plates you have, I think it's 3 different rings. They're catty cornered. And then you put these little spinners in here. And this is why I'd like to spend $70,000 and buy a corn planter. I use 1770 CCS. Because you don't realize it. It's not bad taking the disc out of them. Like, here's your corn disc. Here, I'll show you. So your corn disc has just a single around there for the air to suck it. When you close it up, it sucks it and holds it there, the vacuum. Your beans, here's your bean plates. See, they got 3 rows, catty cornered, because you use so much more seed with them. But, oh my God, they're not bad. But changing these little fuckers, the good thing is, all the bean rows, we can just keep them in. You don't ever have to change them. But I know it's only 16 rows, but I swear this is the biggest. This right here is the worst job on a planter, is trying to get this little, I don't know if you can see it or not. Get my flashlight out. This little screw, where's it at? You can see, where's it at? That screw right there. You have to hold all this, unscrew it, put that big hole in there, and then you slide it over. And I swear, this is, on a planter, this is the biggest pain in the ass, is doing that. And you only got to do 16 of them, and it doesn't sound like you're complaining, but trust me, this is the worst part. I've worked on this planter, I don't know, a bunch of different shit that we've had to rebuild or do stuff on it, And that's got to be the #1 pain in the ass thing to do. And it looks so simple, and it's the worst thing to do. The second worst thing to do is these transmissions here. It'd be nice if you could go to if you ever buy a planter, don't get the hydraulics, shut-offs, get the electric. Even though she cuts off all the rows and everything, she's hydraulic. But these transmissions right here, I don't know if let me shine that light on them. These transmissions, the shaft, chain, everything turns. Well, that turns that transmission, and there's a spindle inside this rod right here that comes back and spins the gearbox. Well, and then that turns, and plants it as it goes. And these little hoses right here, you would not believe how much these things cost. They're like $250, $300 a piece. And they got all different lengths because, you got the long ones for your bean rows because where they stick back some more, and then you got the shorter ones. And, but, if she was made an electric drive, I see a lot of guys are changing these style planters over. You would take this whole shaft and sprockets, all that shit right there would be going. All these sprockets, this whole shaft right here would be going. and she would just run electric down here to an electric meter, and that's what drive, and that's what would, you know, spin it on, spin it off. And but man, when you want to take one of these transmissions out right here, if it's not on the end ones are easy, but you get the ones that are, you know, like this one right here. I don't know if you can see her where she's up in there. You got to undo all the brackets. You got to slide the whole shaft out, take it off. Like this one right here would be a real major. The ones in the middle of the shaft are the worst, because that means you got to put that shaft out. You know, you almost have to take the whole entire shaft out, all the chains loose, to change one transmission on it. And that is horrible. Now that's not as bad as this little job. That's like the big job that you have to do. You know, that's like the big major job. That's the big major job on the planter that you, them things, they don't break down. When we first got her, the guy hadn't, it looked nice, but mechanically he had never really took care of it. And he, I don't know, he was like a big farmer. He had like 2 or 3 of these things, and he let them sit out. And even though the paint wasn't faded, there wasn't nothing faded on her because it was a newer one, newer model. A lot of these motors and the transmissions on her were bad. And I mean, these things right here, they're like $600 through John Deere for just one of these. You know, what was that? Let me see that. These things right here, they're 600, and the transmissions are probably 180. So it gets expensive. You know, we started to spend a lot of money, and Deere didn't want to cover it, Atlantic Tractor, and then they finally, you know, after everything was starting to go wrong on her, they finally started covering a bunch of stuff, and we replaced a lot of it. So she's worked good. What are we? This is the 3rd year. I think this is the 3rd year we had her. First year, once we got her fixed rate and got her going, she worked perfect. Last year she worked perfect. Didn't really have any issues with her last year because we had done so much work. So that's why, you know, I'm going through her now, blowing everything out. Normally, last year, year before last, right after I got done washing, I blew everything out and changed her over. And this year we didn't have time. After I washed it, we were doing so much stuff. I put her in here and didn't get a chance to change her back over to corn. But you know, we always keep everything inside the shed so she doesn't never sit out. So I pretty much got everything done except for changing them little finger things, and they suck. They really suck. It takes a long time to do each one. It's 16 of them. It doesn't sound, but it ain't bad to do everything else but that job. That job is horrible. Tell you, like, this transmission right here is real easy. This is the one you hope, if it messes up, this is the one you hope messes up. Because you could just, what you do is you just pop this out and pop this pin out, slide it off, put the other one on, easy. Now this one right here, if you can see that one, you got to take all that shit apart. So all that has to come apart. But overall, they're good planters. I mean, she really does a good job, you know, or I guess she does a good job. You know, I'm not a huge farmer but I try to pay attention and look at it and see what it does and what it needs. We're gonna have to rebuild her, the disc openers and everything after this year. She'll go this year, and then we're gonna have to replace them. But I put all new coulters on her. Let me see. We put all the new no-till coulters on her last year. So she's good there. Replaced a lot of bearings and the openers, closing wheels, bearings were being done. The only thing would be nice, she had a tank on her. That's what sucks. I like to put down fertilizer while we're planting, but we'll get to it and get it on there. Everything's just so damn high anymore. But that's what I'm doing today. As you can see, it just started raining earlier. You probably can't see it in the video, but you can probably hear it on the barn that's coming down. Got all the rye growing pretty good. Burn that down. That's where we're going to no-till all the early corn, 75 day, and then double crop beans behind it. Remember, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. My brother, he's not here. He's over Salisbury getting attacked for his Peterbilt. But give it a thumbs up, and then subscribe. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Even if you don't like watching the channel, get your friends to subscribe. I'd like to get 1,000 subscribers so I can do a live right now on my cell phone. They won't let you do it without it. So I'm at 544. So get me, I need 1,000. I'd like to get 1,000. I'd like to get more than that, but let's try to get 1,000 subscribers. Tell everybody to subscribe to the channel, even if they don't want to watch it. All your friends and everything.
Okay, all right. Do you want to take a look at one that I wrote? There's a lot in here, because, trust me, in 200 years, this is going to be really relevant, okay? You got to write in military grade, okay? Well-regulated doesn't mean controlled by the government and regulated by you guys. No, seriously, I'm not joking. This becomes relevant. We have a thing called machine guns. If they're military grade, they don't want us having those. Things that explode is a special license that we have to buy. No, I know. I'm telling you, you got to put all this in there. Would you like to take a look at this?